amplifiers, antenna tuners, transceivers, and diagnostic gear aimed at the amateur radio builder and maker, end quote. He had created a series of QRP radio kits called the One Water series, which he sold through his business. Born in 1948, Diz was inducted into the QRP Hall of Fame in 2005. This is Travis Lisk, N3ILS. In India, 2 ham radio groups are getting ready for a de-expedition that doubles as a disaster drill. We hear about their plans from Jim Meechan, ZL2BHF.
2 amateur radio organizations in India are teaming up for a combination de-expedition and disaster drill on the weekend of March 29th to the 31st. Known as the DIRD expedition, it will feature a mock disaster drill with radio operators from the Indian Academy of Communications and Disaster Management and the West Bengal Radio Club. The hams will be operating from Old Dayar Beach in West Bengal and will be using the call sign VU2WB, the call sign of the West Bengal Club, on 10, 20 and 40 meters, using SSB and FT8. The sea beach has suffered for years from coastal erosion and other damage as a result of natural and man-made forces. To help prepare hams for emergency response, this exercise has been scheduled to take place just weeks before the start of monsoon season in May. This is Jim Meechan, ZL2BHF.
The CubeSat known as AO73 has put the fun back in FunCube. AMSAT reports that the transponder is back in action for amateur radio communication after a brief period of rest for its batteries. The satellite had been placed in safe mode on March 3rd, providing only low-power telemetry. The popular educational CubeSat has been in orbit since 2013. San Francisco's last remaining FM broadcast frequency for low-power FM radio licensees has been assigned by the FCC to a local nonprofit independent station. Ralph Squillace, KK6ITB, tells us what happens next.
The announcement on the website of BFF.FM could not have had a more jubilant tone. The station, which provides listeners with music and talk programming exclusively on the internet and through an app, has been given the go-ahead to operate on a low-power broadcast FM frequency. According to a report on the website SF Gate, the assignment of 104.9 FM leaves the city with no more unclaimed low-power FM frequencies. Writing on its blog, the station said that it still has some homework to do. Among those assignments, determining its 4-letter call sign and building a tower during the next 3 years. The FCC has given the station the right to broadcast over a limited area in the southwest area of the city, giving it access to an estimated 100,000 listeners. The station, which was created in 2013, has said it will also maintain its online presence. This is Ralph Squillace, KK6ITB.
Time for you to identify your station. We are the Amateur Radio Newsline, heard on bulletin stations around the world, including the WG8ARS repeater of the Germantown Amateur Radio Society in Germantown, Ohio, on Sundays after the 9 p.m. net. At this time of year, we ask our listeners to nominate a promising young radio amateur to become the Bill Pasternak Memorial Young Ham of the Year for 2024. Candidates must live in the continental United States and be 18 years of age or younger. Tell our judges about your nominee's talent, promise, and commitment to the spirit of ham radio. This is your chance to help honor and acknowledge that person who will, no doubt, go on to teach and inspire others. Find the nomination form on our website, arnewsline.org, under the Awards tab. Nominations close on May 31st. In Germany, the spotlight is on the country's amateur radio law, which is marking its 75th anniversary. Jeremy Boot, G4NJH, tells us on how hams are celebrating.
Amateurs in Germany are celebrating 2024 as the 75th anniversary of the country's amateur radio legislation, which took effect in March 1949, predating Germany's Basic Law and the creation of the Federal Republic itself, which took place that same year in May. To mark the occasion, the German National Society, the DARC, is making an award available to any amateurs who contact 75 stations across all 24 regional districts until the end of April. One of those contacts must be with special event stations DP75 AFUG, DL75 AFUG, or DL75 AFUV. Shortwave listeners may also participate under the same rules. Congratulations to our friends in Germany on this diamond anniversary. This is Jeremy Boot, G4NJH.
For the full story behind this historic law and a fascinating account of how radio amateurs in Germany used ham radio creativity and house breaks to advocate for the law, see the Amateur Radio Newsline website. Under the tab that reads Extra, you'll find the story in the translation from the original German. In the world of DX, look out for the EIDX Group's DXpedition to Maseru, Lesotho. Operators are on the air as 7P8EI until the 29th of March on 160 through 10 meters. They are using CW, single sideband, and digital modes. See QRZ.com for QSL details. T32EU, a group of German DXpeditioners, are operating from East Kiribati until the 27th of March despite several knockbacks. They are running 3 stations around the clock on 160 through 6 meters using CW, single sideband, FT8, and RTTY. For QSL details on the story so far, check QRZ.com. Listen for the Camagüey DX group using the call signs T47C and CO9JAB from Cayo Romano, Cuba, IOTA number NA086 for the 29th and the 31st of March. The team of 9 will be using CW, single sideband, and the digital modes on 80, 40, 20, 15, and 10 meters. QSL directly to IK2DUW. QSOs will be uploaded to Logbook of the World. Celebrate the 135th anniversary of the Eiffel Tower's formal inauguration by making a contact with Michel, F8GGZ. He will be using the special call sign TM135TE from the 21st to the 31st of March, QSL via the Bureau. Listen for Jean-Luc, F1ULQ, operating as TO1Q from Guadalupe, IOTA number NA102, from the 25th of March through the 7th of April. Listen for his signal on the HF bands and 6 meters, where he will be using single sideband and FT8. He may be active as well on some satellites. See QRZ.com for QSL details. We end this week by looking forward into deep space, where NASA's Voyager 1 probe has suffered communications problems recently. Now, it seems, there is hope that things can be fixed and communications can be restored. Neil Rapp, WB9VPG, takes us along on that voyage.
Could the troubled deep space probe Voyager 1, which scientists had feared was failing, possibly have a second act after all? NASA had feared the worst when Voyager's transmissions began sending garbled data 4 months ago, suggesting problems had developed with the flight data subsystem. On March 1st, NASA scientists tried something different. They transmitted a command prompt to direct the spacecraft to use different sequences in its firmware in case some corruption had occurred. The result was unexpected. A flight data subsystem download that engineers were actually able to decode. They are now studying the data for clues to what may have happened. Once the scientists solve the mystery behind what is troubling the mission, they will know if Voyager still has miles to go before its final sleep. It's a moment of hope for NASA, which treasures the nearly 50 years of the Voyager mission. It's also a moment of some pride for one science journalist. She reported recently on the Voyager mission and its connections to the pioneering radio astronomer Frank Drake. The late radio astronomer, considered the father of the search for signs of life beyond Earth, is the father of that very same journalist, Nadia Drake. No doubt she is joining NASA in rooting for Voyager. This is Neil Rapp, WB9VPG.
Don't forget the Amateur Radio Newsline Haiku Challenge. If you're not too busy tuning your antennas or chasing the latest DXpedition, pick up a pencil and share your experience by sending an original haiku to us here at Newsline. Use the entry form on our website, arnewsline.org, and please follow the rules for writing your 3-line haiku. Sorry, but we cannot accept any entries that aren't written in traditional haiku form. Share with your fellow listeners the poetry that is inspired by your ham radio experience. With thanks to Ars Technica, the Australian Communications and Media Authority, Amateur Radio Daily, the ARRL, BFF.FM, CQ Magazine, David Behar, K7DB, DX News, DX World, 425 DX News, Hackaday, the Irish Radio Transmitter Society, LiveScience.com, QRZ.com, Radio Competitor, Radio DARC, Radio Society of Sri Lanka, Satellite Today, SFGate.com, ShortwaveRadio.de, Yahoo Finance website, and you, our listeners, that's all from the Amateur Radio Newsline. We remind our listeners that Amateur Radio Newsline is an all-volunteer, non-profit organization that does incur expenses for its continued operations. If you wish to support us, please visit our website at arnewsline.org and know that we appreciate you all. We also remind our listeners that if you like our newscast, please leave us a 5-star rating wherever you subscribe to us. For now, with Karen Eve Murray, KD2GUT at the news desk in New York, and our news team worldwide, I'm Paul Brown, WD9GCO in Valparaiso, Indiana, saying 73. As always, we thank you for listening. Amateur Radio Newsline is copyright 2024. All rights reserved.
Good evening, and welcome to the Cuyahoga Falls This concludes our Monday evening transmission of Amateur Radio Newsline. Net to start in about 10 minutes.
W8VPV. Repeater. W8VPV. Repeater TL110.9.
evening. Calling all amateur radio operators. Welcome to the Cuyahoga Falls Amateur Radio Club Monday night VHF UHF net. My name is Frank. My call is W8EZT, but for the purposes of this net, I'll be using the club call, Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor. This is an open, directed net. All amateur radio operators are invited and encouraged to check in. You do not have to be a club member. All traffic will go through net control, and since emergency traffic may break in at any time, please leave a brief pause between transmissions. The purpose of this net is to bring together all amateur radio operators for the exchanging of amateur-related ideas and information, and to enhance net operating practices, and to keep members up to date about local club happenings. This net meets here every Monday evening at 8:30 p.m. local time, preceded by Amateur Radio Newsline at 8:01. We'll start with some announcements and ask for check-ins from any officer or member who has any announcement of general interest for the club. Once that's complete, we'll take check-ins, call signs only, 5 at a time, confirming the call sign before moving on to the next. I'll go back and work those 5 check-ins, then I'll ask for another 5 and repeat that process till we're done. And usually we start getting them 1 at a time back in there, but that's how it's going to be done. If you're a regular participant, I'll probably recognize you by your call sign. If not, please give your call, repeat it phonetically, followed by your name and location. When all check-ins have worked, I'll repeat the announcements and then close the net. I'd like to also let everybody know that we operate an HF plus 6-band exploration net. That is a net that moves from band to band depending on which Monday it is. This evening's net will be on 80 meters at 9:30 p.m., somewhere around 3.827 megahertz. I will make a final announcement as to the frequency on this repeater probably about 8:27, so stay tuned if you're interested in that. All right, at this point, we will go ahead and do some announcements. Well, for a significant amount of time, I was hoping we might see a seriously impressive aurora, but the magnetic component is now north, which is more compatible with our magnetic field, less particles coming into the atmosphere. So it probably won't be happening, but if it's clear, you can get a view outside tonight through the clouds that are building. Check and look for aurora borealis. We had a CME, coronal mass ejection, a couple of days ago that was fairly powerful and initially looked like it was going to create quite an aurora. But as I say, it's changed polarization, magnetic polarization. Okay, this coming Wednesday, March 27th, 7:30 at Pilgrim United Church is our activity meeting. I honestly do not know what the activity is. I usually do my homework, but excuse me. Club calendar, at least as of 2 minutes ago, was not updated, so I'm going to have to let that float. We're going to find something interesting, even if I have to bring stuff in. I've got some things we can do, so we'll do something. We appreciate you there. More importantly is our Wednesday, April 10th meeting. There'll be several issues. We do need a quorum there, so if you can make any meeting, this is the one to make. We'll be talking about the Hamfest coordination and final plans for that. We'll be going over the bylaws and constitution change, and we'll do a vote on that. And while we approved a repeater antenna last month, several of us have had second thoughts, and we've gone back and reevaluated the situation, and I suspect we may be changing which antenna we're going to get. So we need to rescind the previous motion or amend the motion to for this antenna. So we need it there on April 10th. April 24th, who knows? As of the change on April 10th, the convention bylaws pass. We'll be doing something, but I have no idea what it is at this time. Stay tuned. This could be interesting. All right, that's all I've got. Do we have any officers, trustees, or any other members that have anything of general interest for the club?
W3X.
Oscar. Hi, Frank.
All right, I got Vince in there, and I got John first. Go ahead, John.
Yes, this is W3X. Name here is John. During the Aries net, Gary Greg wanted me to tell you that the local retail places don't have any of the door prize radios, but there are a load of them on eBay, and he wants to know if he should go ahead and order them. I was mentioning to get 6 of those for our door prize. Over.
Funny you should mention that. I have that screen. I'm looking at that exact screen right now on my machine, and yes, I see them for $21 and change, and a little bit less than that if you buy a couple. And I was going to buy probably 8, 6 for the club and 2 for myself. So let me get with him and see what we can do there. And they did promise shipment immediately, and they'd be here within the next couple of days. My real concern was, getting them here because of the lack of time between now and the Hamfest. But thank you, John. I will reach out to Greg and you in email after this, and we'll go over that.
Okay, he wanted to let me know that because... or he wanted me to let you know that because he's running other nets this evening here. So with that, back to the net, W8VPV, this is W03X.
All right, thanks, Sean. Yeah, I know his reason he doesn't appear here is he's got a lot of other nets he's involved in, and can't blame the guy for that. And Vince, you were in there. Go ahead, sir.
Hi, Frank. Nothing important other than the newsletter. A week from today is April 1st, so anybody that wants to get something in, it's now time. My regular contributors, Frank and Anthony, this is your call to arms, as they say. This is when you give me stuff. Otherwise, maybe I'll write another construction article that nobody reads. So that's about it, Frank. Alpha Charlie 8 X-Ray Oscar, back to net.
All right, very good, Vince. I will come up with something here, and with all the changes coming, we should have a lot of new stuff in the next couple of weeks, or next couple of months, but this month could be an interesting one. A lot of effort behind the scenes in terms of the Hamfest, and we're gearing up for Field Day, but maybe that'll be the topic. I'll have to talk to Anthony about that. Thanks, Vince. All right, any other club members, officers, trustees with information of general interest? If not, we'll go to check-ins. One last chance, general interest? John and Vince, I'm going to have you in because you were on the air, and we'll go from there. All right, looking for 5 check-ins. Go ahead now.
November 8th, Alpha Charlie Papa, N8ACP, Chris, Cadillac Hill, Akron.
I got you, Chris. Next.
Kilo Bravo 8, Victor Hotel Kilo, John, November Hotel, Kilo Bravo 8, Victor Hotel Kilo, John and Kenmore, in and out.
All right, John, I got you in and out. Go ahead, next.
88 BYC, D8YAX, in and out.
All right, I got YAX, Forrest, I got you in and out. I can't write as fast as I can talk. And VYT, I got you in there. Why can't I think of your name? Russ, I'm sorry. Brain function, pardon me. All right, next.
November 8, November Hotel, Mark and Akron, in and out.
All right, Mark got you in and out. Next.
KB8PRK.
KB8PRK. Good to hear you in there, Ted. One more.
Echo 8, Yankee Tango Golf, Steven Stowe, in and out.
All right, got you in and out, Yankee Tango Golf. One more.
November.
All right, there's a double there, a lot of noise in there, but the last letter was November, I believe the call sign. Go ahead.
WA8RCN.
My neighbor. Okay, got you in there. All right, I got enough here. Let me head back to the top here. Let's see, those two are in and out. N8ACP. Go ahead, Chris.
Evening, W8VPV, November 8 Alpha, Charlie Papa. Evening to all on the net. Well, it's a nice sunny day outside for sure. Unloaded, loaded, and unloaded 2 trucks and trailers full of slate, and that's heavy stuff. So actually, I only unloaded half of the second trailer full. I just want to get some weight off the trailer, and then I'll do the rest tomorrow. So it's a nice sunny day, but my back is not feeling so nice and sunny. I'll do a couple 12-ounce curls. Maybe that'll help things. Vince, just wanted to tell you, we do read the newsletter. There are people out there reading it, and I'm one of them. So thanks for all the work you do on that. That CME just wiped the bands out yesterday almost completely. It was a real struggle to work Puerto Rico and Dominican Republic on HF. I did get them, and that was about it. My brother, Mike, Whiskey Echo 8 Mike Uniform Delta, sent me a message saying that he worked Eastern Kiribati at 0730 hours local on 17 meters, quote-unquote gray line. I think what happened was before the sun's full fury hit us with that thing, he was able to sneak him in there. And finally, the CQ Worldwide WPX single sideband contest is this coming weekend. It's one of the top biggest 3 amateur radio contests in the world. 160, 80, 40, 20, 15, and 10 meters. Everybody can work anybody, and it should be a good time to pick up some new DX. That's all the news from me. Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor from November 8 Alpha Charlie Papa 73.
All right, very good, Chris. Yeah, if you don't regularly move weights like that, a sudden day or two of doing that, and it'll be remembered for a couple of days, that's for sure. Is this for a garden or something, or got a building project going?
It's what I do for a living, slate roofing, so I don't want to talk too much about that on amateur radio. You know, we're supposed to keep business and stuff like that separated, but these are, I probably have moved 35,000 pounds of slate from the old QTH to the new QTH, over.
Oh my gosh. Well, at least you do it on somewhat of a regular basis, so you've worked up to it. Congratulations. It has real meaning to the term work. Good hearing in there, Chris, and hope you're enjoying that new QTH. Sure sounds like it. All right, let's see here. Some in and out call check-ins. There's Russ, KE8VYT. Go ahead, sir.
Well, I haven't been in here for a while. I just stopped in to say hi. Don't forget April 8th, the total solar eclipse. Viewable from our area. And I got my solar lens for my camera ready, and I'm going to do it right here from my backyard. I'm not going out to any crowds. It's supposed to happen, I heard, in the 3 o'clock hour sometime. So get out there, and I saw it in 2017 in Kentucky. And if you haven't seen a total solar eclipse, you've got to do it. Anyway, that's it for me. KD8VYT 73.
Very good, Russ. Yeah, good plan for travel during that day, and the day after is don't. I'm going to be right here at home. My sister said, I'm going to throw an eclipse party, but she lives on the other side of the county. It'll take me 6 hours to get home. I can get there easily, but so, yeah, please stay off the road. And as they were warning, I can't believe they were making these warnings, but knowing people today, I can. Do not stop your car on the expressway and get out and look at the eclipse. You could be hit. Do not park on the expressway and the turnpikes and try to look at the eclipse. Watch out for other people doing that. So it could be a nightmare. Anyway, I'm going to be home. I'm going to be watching it from my yard. I'll have the safety glasses on, and should be a good time. All right, thanks very much. And who from the outer limits would be Ted, KB8PRK. Go ahead, sir.
Hello. All I need now is the theme song from the X-Files. Now, I had a magnetic reversal polarization last night about 3 o'clock in the morning. When I took care of that, I decided to move my head up. See if the moon was, there was a partial 2 weeks of a solar eclipse. It was full moon yesterday. So next time it becomes new moon, that's the solar eclipse. That's 2 weeks. And I didn't see anything, any dimming or reddish on the moon. It looked perfectly normal to me. So it was just outside the shadow area of the Earth, and it was at its aphelic point, its furthest away from Earth. When the solar eclipse happened on April 8th, it will be 1 day short of its perihelic point, its closest point to the moon. That's why the duration of the eclipse is going to be a little longer than normal. And we did pick a spot out there in Huron County we're going to go to. It's on a very rural area to view it from, and we estimated we're probably less than 2 miles from dead center on that. So that's where we'll be. And we do have a repeater available to us that's out there that can get back here. So we're going to probably utilize that. And hopefully, so all I can say is pray for clear skies on the 8th. Back to you, Frank. CBCRK.
All right, very good, Ted. Well, wherever you decide to watch it, make sure you got food, drink, and even maybe an option for toilet facilities, because you may be stuck there. The story I've heard of people along that eclipse path, 6-7 years ago, that's what I was hearing. All right, very good. Next up is Jim, W8RCN. Go ahead, sir.
W8VPV and W8RCN. Good evening, Frank. Sounding good here. Of course, you're just down the street there. And good evening to everybody on the net. Just thought we'd jump in here and see what's going on. Been gone for a week. Just came back from Florida, Bonita Springs. I took the girls down there and grandkids and husbands and everybody. Had a whole family thing down there, so it was kind of neat. And 85 degrees in the ocean every day, and came into Hopkins on Saturday and saw the white stuff, and man, I'll tell you, it was cold. I don't know. I think the next morning, Sunday, was like 20 degrees, and I just crazy. Anyway, we're back here, and nice day today outside, doing a lot of work out there, cleaning things up again, and just keep plugging away here, in and out, and with the good weather, the bad weather, do stuff inside when it's bad, outside when it's good, so until we get this thing stabilized here in Ohio, I guess. So, all right, back over to you, W8VPV, W8RCN.
Very good, Jim. As a friend of mine put it, well, we've already had 3 springs this year. We'll see how many more. But you're right, as the old saying goes with Ohio, just if you don't like the weather, it will change. And yeah, the answer is doing exactly what you're doing. You got your inside tasks and you got your outside tasks, and when you can do the outside tasks, you do them, and otherwise you do the inside stuff. So you're on top of it. And yeah, Florida's beautiful this time of year. It's a little hot and humidity and buggy in the dead summer. Got a niece that lives down there and a sister that visits her a lot, and I've been down there a couple of times now, and nice place to visit, but I think I would like to see more. I'm used to the change. So far, I can handle all 4 seasons. All right, thanks, Jim. Appreciate it. And let's see, this is W8VPV, the Cuyahoga Falls Amateur Radio Club, Monday night, the HF/UHF net, looking for check-ins, looking for 5. By call sign, go ahead.
November Victor 5 Hotel.
D5H, that's you. Next.
KD8, KDI.
Next.
D8, KDI.
All right, got you, Ron. Next. Station ending, I think, in X-ray. Try it again. Real noisy signal there.
Kilo Echo 8 to Papa X-ray.
Okay, Kilo Echo 8, Papa X-ray. What was the name? I am sorry you are right down on the noise level there. If you can move anywhere or move a little higher, go ahead. I think I got the call. I'll get back to you here when I get to the bottom of the list. Next, please. All right, got you, Larry. It gives me 5. We'll head back to the top of the list. NV5H, is that you, Ron?
Hey, firm. I haven't been able to check in a couple weeks and wanted to get back on and say hi.
Very good. Appreciate it. Don't know how, I think I heard you had some health issues there, but if you're going to be in the area for Field Day weekend, we could, of course, always enjoy your company and get you on the air. Anything else you'd like to do to help, either myself or I think Anthony's going to coordinate it this year. Reach out to us and let us know. But good hearing you in there. Sure appreciate the check-in. Anything else for the net?
No, sir. I had shoulder surgery in December, so been recovering from that. But Field Day, I will be out in Montana. We're heading out there June 10th. We'll be in Montana from June 21st through July 5th, so I won't be able to participate, but we sure did have a good time. Appreciate you letting us come out. Back to net.
Well, very good, Ron, and certainly it's a beautiful state, and it's such a, I love open states. I've done a lot of skiing up in Idaho, and so I was up in Montana once doing some backpacking, and it is a beautiful area, very rugged when you get out of the cities there. But very good. Have a great time. And if you're back in the area for any future Field Day, I'll extend the general invite to you then. All right. Next up, Mike, WB8CXO. How you doing this evening? Yeah, it's beautiful out there today. I was over at my sister's. She was out doing some gardening, and then we spent part of the day working on refrigeration compressor for her freezer, the freezer side of her 2-bay refrigerator. Kind of a waste of a day, but she has all these bird feeders out in the yard, so we were watching that as it was happening. Yeah, beautiful day, as you said, t-shirt weather. I didn't have shorts on, but long jeans, and I was comfortable. This would be a good day to get a lot of work done. Well, good hearing you there, Mike. Hope to see you at the Hamfest coming up. Seeing you, of course, at the last 2 Hamfests of the year, and hope that trend continues. Always appreciated. All right, next up, I think it was KE8PX as in Paul X-Ray. A lot of noise, but try your name and go ahead again. Okay, 3 suffix call sign, Kilo Papa X-Ray, I think I heard. Go ahead. I'm sorry, I stopped on you. KE8, was it KPX? Go ahead. All right, my apologies. I dropped that one. I just could not pull it out of the noise. I've got, I think you checked in here in the log. If not, come on back and we'll try it again. APU, Larry, go ahead.
Good evening, Frank. Everybody on the net tonight. With everybody, fantastic weather. That's what we got to look forward to. We're almost to April and we're on our way. Won't be many more of these freezing nights. Nothing exciting on Oakwood Drive, so see everybody Wednesday evening at the meeting. I can't do 80 meters. I don't have sticks up there for that anymore. So catch everybody Wednesday evening, Frankie, and be good to see you. So back to you, W8VPV, K8PU.
Real good, Larry. As always, good to hear you in there, and well, hang in there. And yeah, I think we can say we pretty much survived another Ohio winter. And again, as we've discussed before, the Ohio winters we're having these days are not like the Ohio winters we had 30 years ago. Very clearly, I think something is causing these last couple of winters, last 10 winters, to be significantly warmer on average than normal. All right, then, I'm at the bottom of my list, so looking for more check-ins. We'll do them one at a time now. Come now.
KC8YYS.
KC8YYS. Go ahead.
Frank, everybody on the net, I really don't have too much to say here. Spent most of my morning here, medical appointments, and in the afternoon while I was having some computer, well, not really computer, but printer problems, and didn't get them resolved, but I got lots of time, so I can still work at it. Other than that, why, I don't have too much going on. Kind of considering the location I'm at now, why there's not much I can do around here. But anyways, I hope everybody has a good week, and looking forward to the weekend. So we'll turn it back to you, Frank. This is KC8YYS.
All right, very good, Jim. Well, welcome back from, I think it was Florida. You were down there for a couple of months, but these are the days that make the bad ones pretty darn good. I can't complain at all. And, well, good hearing you in there. All right, Jim, thanks very much. Appreciate it. Hope to see you at one of the meetings coming up. Looking for more check-ins, W8VPV.
K8HMS.
There he is. I was wondering where you were. Go ahead, Steve.
Yeah, W8VPV in the net, K8HMS. Hi, Frank. Hi, everybody on the 440 side. Yeah, I was busy most of the day, so wanted to get the dog out for a walk, so we took a late walk. It's a beautiful, beautiful night tonight. Running into neighbors and yakking, so it ran a little longer than I thought. Anyway, not a lot going on. Just did a lot yesterday with the beautiful weather. Got a new American flag up and worked on a refrigerator where my ice maker blew a gasket or something. So anyway, other than that, not much happening. So back to you. And yeah, I don't know where the exploration net is tonight. So if you want to know, K8HMS.
All right, very good, Steve. It'll be on 80 meters, tentatively 3.827 megahertz, but that'll be plus or minus depending on QRM around there. I will announce it on the VHF side of the repeater, probably about 9:25, 9:27 or so, and I'll get in there and try to hold the spot for a little while. Shouldn't be too bad. The hard one to get through is usually 40. All right, thanks, Steve. Appreciate it. Hang in there, and we'll catch you down the page. This is W8VPV looking for more check-ins for the Cuyahoga Falls Amateur Radio Club Monday night VHF UHF net.
8 KVI.
I'm sorry, Ron. I left you in the background. I got you down here as 13, and I'm already working on 17. My apologies. Go ahead.
Well, you know, no real worry. I'm retired. I have no life. I was just sitting here researching monocles. I've ordered a monocle about 7 years ago, and I swear that the lens is glass, but the same company only offers polycarbonate ones now. So I had to send an email out to them asking them, was mine actually glass or a really good plastic? And if it was glass, can I still get one?
I know glass weighs more for higher index lenses than polycarbonate. I know mine are polycarbonate. I have, bifocals, not a monocle. Why would you prefer glass?
Clearer. I like the optics better, and it doesn't scratch as easily. And besides, it's only a 2x reader, so it's not very heavy. I just want to go up to a 2.5x because the 2 just isn't quite strong enough anymore, what with my eyes getting old and all.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure everybody out there can relate to that one. I'll be curious to know. It wouldn't surprise me, though. I would imagine the grinding process is different for the two materials, and they probably can get more coatings now for plastic than they can glass, if you want any kind of anti-reflective or whatever coating. All right, well, keep me posted on that one. Thanks. Appreciate it, Ron. And again, my apologies for leaving you here. I just jumped the page for some reason. I do not know why I missed you. All right, W8VPV, looking for more check-ins.
This is Kilo 8, Bravo India.
KE8TQR.
Okay, I got K8BI Bill and K something TQR. What's the prefix?
Kilo Echo 8 Tango Quebec Romeo, Frank.
I apologize. I should have caught that right away. Go ahead, Bill. I'll get back to you. Go ahead. Go ahead, Bill.
I don't have any comments. Just wanted to wish everyone a good evening and enjoy the weather. So thanks very much for running the net, Frank, and we'll see everyone. W8VPV, K8BI.
All righty. Thanks, Bill. Appreciate that. K8TQR. I cannot pull your name.
W8VPV, KE8TQR. The personal here is Chief, Frank. And I know one of these days you'll remember it. That's all right. Not a problem. I don't remember everybody's name either. I have a heck of a time in call time, but I think we all do. Anyway, thanks for getting me in here, Frank. Good to hear you tonight. Fine job on the net. And good evening to everyone else here on the net as well. Hope everyone's having a great evening. I was hoping maybe we'd get a little bit of the northern lights, but I don't think we're going to get them. So anyway, had a nice day here. Beautiful sunshine and warmer temperatures, but we've got a little rain moving in. But that's all right. I've looked at the weather for next week, and it looks like it's going to be great as well. I had really good news today. My CPA called me and told me that I don't owe the federal or the state government any money. They owe me money, so I'm waiting to get that. I'm sure they'll be really quick to send it to me. Hi. Other than that, not a lot going on here. It's quiet at the QTH. It's always quiet here at the QTH. That's the way we like it. And looking forward to the weekend, the upcoming Hamfest and the Eclipse, and all this stuff seems to be happening. It's going to be a fun summer, I'm sure. And with that, I'll just go ahead and send it back to you, Frank. And like I said, fine job on the net tonight. And we'll be here next week. This is KE8TQR saying 73, and God bless all.
Very good, Keith. And again, my apologies for fumbling your name. I'm still, I don't know, as I get old, I'm noticing I'm struggling sometimes to put two and two together. But I do know who you are and appreciate all you've done. Yeah, good times in Ohio. There's always a lot to do in Ohio. That's one nice thing about this. And if there's nothing else, we got a lot of restaurants and some really fine food around here. So very good. Appreciate the check-in, and we'll catch you down the page. Let's see. I'm at the bottom of the list. Any other check-ins? This is W8VPV, the Cuyahoga Falls Amateur Radio Club, Monday night, VHF, UHF net. Okay, the KE8 station was in and out, all sorts of noise on your signal. Try with your call again just so I can get you in the logbook here, but there was some kind of distortion on your signal. Try it again.
Kappa Echo 8, Uniform Lima Charlie, Kurt in Cuyahoga Falls.
All right, that time you were perfectly clear. Must have been a double in there. Other station, go ahead.
November 8, Bravo, Alpha, Yankee, Ralph and Stowe, in and out.
Okay, Kurt, you were in and out. Ralph, you were in and out. Appreciate you stopping by. Thanks for the numbers. And there's somebody here every Monday evening about this time, so feel free to come on back next time. Looking for more check-ins. This is W8VPV. We'll run through the announcements, then wrap this, call for check-ins once more, then wrap this net up. Coming up here, as I say, there was a possibility of an aurora tonight. It does not look like it's going to happen. It wouldn't hurt to go out and look up some off and on throughout the evening. But according to SolarHam, which is a wonderful website for anybody really interested in what the sun is doing, the magnetic component of the coronal mass ejection was such that it tends not to get thrown down into the atmosphere and charge up the oxygen particles and nitrogen particles. So probably no aurora borealis. Coming up this Wednesday, March 27th, 7:30 at Pilgrim United Church of Christ, and on Zoom, I should add, is our fellowship meeting. I'm sorry, is our business. Get it right, Frank. Our activity meeting. I do not know what the activity is at this point. It's not posted on the calendar, and I wasn't able to get through to Anthony. We will have something of interest. I've got one in the can right now, so if nothing else, we'll do that one. Coming up, let me pause for time. Okay, this is the important meeting. Wednesday, April 10th is our business meeting. We've got several things going on there of significance. One, we're going to probably be changing the antenna that we voted to get last month, the March meeting. We need a quorum there. We're also going to try to do a bylaw and constitution change. It's published in the newsletter. Look through it now. Be ready to show up with questions and be ready to vote on that. We would like to do that. And we're going to be talking about our Hamfest, which is 3 days after that meeting. So if you're going to be volunteering with a Hamfest, if you can't make the meeting in person, we sure would like to see you on Zoom because there's some information and just an overview of what's going on there that we want you to all be aware of. Then Wednesday, April 24th, we'll have some kind of a meeting probably, and we hopefully will be running under our new bylaw and constitution format, and then who knows, we're going to have a number of exciting things coming up. All right, finally, and pause for time once more. We have an HF+6 band exploration net. This net meets 9:30 once a week. After this net, it moves from various bands to various bands. You can find it on our club calendar. Tonight, we'll be on 80 meters, somewhere around 3.827 megahertz. I'm going to have to look around a little in advance. I will announce it on this repeater a minute or so before the net starts, so stay tuned if you don't know. Please join us if you have the equipment and the permissions for the 80-meter band exploration net. All right, that's all I've got. Let me see if there are any last check-ins out there, and if there are not, we'll close the net. None heard, appreciate it. I think I'm a little up in terms of number of check-ins. In preparing to close this net, I'd like to thank each and every one of you who took the time to join us and check in tonight. Without your participation, there would be no net. This has been Frank, W8EZT, and it's my pleasure to host this evening's net. At this time, we'll close the net with 22 check-ins, myself included, and return this repeater to normal and customary amateur radio use. This is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor, closing the net at 9:09 p.m. local time. 73 all. See you on 80 meters.
W8VPV. Repeater.
box. I think it's built in.
Well, that's what I'm guessing. I guess I'll look in the manual and see what it says. You just run like a phone cord from that to your radio?
I run a couple of Cat 5 cables, and think about that for a second. I'm not real sure how they are interfacing that new version to the radios, so you'll have to look in your manual. Good choice.
Yeah, I'll do that before I order these things, but yeah, I'm just glad that I figured out what was wrong. I thought nothing wrong with it. What was wrong with me?
Rough trying to get that stuff to take solder.
Gonna do it anyway. Yep, that's true, and that's why we usually wait till like the first week in May to do the install, typically. All right. So, well, hey, it's like me, same thing. I got to wait till it warms up for me to have running water. You'll just have to rough it. Yeah, we know how to do that. And we got all kinds of buckets, 5-gallon buckets. My brother-in-law picked up a whole bunch from the job, and that's what we do. Dip them in the brook and carry them in the house.
W8VPV repeater. T above TMSMTV active. W8VPV repeater.
WAT. This is W3X. I was away from the radio here and didn't hear what frequency you're on. Over.
W8VPV. Repeater TL110.9.
John Frank here. I'm going to try 3832. Sorry, I got stuck on a phone call. I'm going to go ahead and start the net right now.
Okay, yeah, I was looking around and didn't hear anybody. Okay, great, thanks. This is W3X. I'll be clear.
Is this frequency in use? This is W8VPV. Hearing nothing, we'll be starting our Cuyahoga Falls Amateur Radio Club net. Good evening, calling all amateur radio operators. Welcome to the Cuyahoga Falls Amateur Radio Club Monday night band explorations, HF plus 6 band exploration net. My name is Frank. My call is W8EZT. However, for the purposes of this net, I'll be using the club call Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor. This is an open, directed net. All amateur radio operators are invited and encouraged to check in. You do not have to be a club member. All traffic will go through net control, and since emergency traffic may break in at any time, I can't say tonight, please leave a brief pause between transmissions. The purpose of this net is to bring together all amateur radio operators for the exchanging of amateur-related ideas and information to enhance net operating practices and to keep members up to date about current club happenings. This net meets here every Monday evening at one location or another every Monday evening at 9:30 p.m., preceded by our VHF UHF net at 8:30 and amateur radio news line at 8:01. We'll start with some announcements and ask for check-ins from any club member or officer with announcements of general interest. Once that's complete, we'll take check-ins. We'll do it one at a time here. The HF net or the VHF net's a little busier, but here we'll just take it one at a time. All right, announcements. Pause for time here. All right, as I mentioned on the VHF net, there was a possibility of an aurora, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen. If you're near a door or window, you might look out and see what's going on, but with the clouds coming in and the change in the magnetic component, doesn't look like the CMA of 2 days ago is going to really do much for us. One of these days. All right, this coming Wednesday, March 27th, 7:30, we'll have our activity meeting. It's at Pilgrim United Church of Christ. If you can't be there in person, by all means, you can see us through the Zoom session. There's a link on our calendar to it. Just click on that, sign on in. Well, you don't even need to sign in. Just click on it and join us and participate. Wednesday, April 10th is our truly important meeting. We've got 3 major events going on. We're going to modify our motion to replace the meter, probably modify the motion to replace the repeater antenna. We're going to be talking about our Hamfest coming up a few days after that, and we'll be doing a bylaw and constitution change, and we need a quorum for that. So please make that meeting either Zoom or in person. After that, April 24th, I'm sure we've got some kind of a meeting coming up, probably field day related, and that's everything I've got. So do we have any people with announcements of general interest to the club members? We're on 3832 megahertz. This is W8VPV. All right, nothing heard. Then I will take check-ins one at a time. Go ahead, please.
This is W3X.
All right, I heard you in there, John, and there's somebody underneath you. Other station, go ahead. All right, got you, Mike. I'll get right back to you. Go ahead, John.
Yeah, good evening, Frank, and all on the net. This is W3X. Regarding that repeater antenna, how thick is the mast that we have up there right now?
I'd have to go look at the specifications of the station master. I suspect at the base it's probably near 2 inches. I think it's slightly tapered.
Oh, okay. Okay, because the G7 can only go up to 1 3/4 inch mast. But I guess we could add a short piece or whatever that is inch and 3/4 if the other one is 2 inches. But it maybe if it's tapered, it could probably go to 1 3/4. Okay, let's see. See, nothing much else to report here. So with that, this is WO3X back to the net.
All right, thanks, John. I have some fairly close pictures of the current manner in which the antenna is attached to the support post. I'll look at that, and of course, once we get, whatever antenna we get, we'll set it up in my backyard, we'll tune it, we'll make sure that we're happy with the FWR, and we'll make sure the mounting situation, however it is, works. So we'll take care of it. But thanks, John. Appreciate it. Next up, Mike, WD8CXO. Go ahead, sir. Very good, Mike. Yeah, we've got to get up there and work on our controller. We want to get rid of some functionality we don't need. Of course, there's no patches that we use that anymore, so I can see why your repeater controller doesn't support it. And we're going to look at using the third input as a remote receive link down in the Barberton area to give us more coverage in southern Summit County. We've got a building available, and it looks like around Summit Lake there's a mound of, I don't know, maybe it's probably glacial remains. It's probably 90, 100, 110 feet tall, and it's right in the path when you model it between the site location and our current repeater site. But it looks like we'll probably be able to get through based on the models I ran, which may or may not be accurate. I have not done enough modeling with this to have any confidence in the numbers, but it looks like we'll be able to do it. As soon as the weather breaks for a couple of days, the person who's making this available and I are going to set up on buildings and attempt to contact each other on 440 with some beam antennas point to point and see if we've got the coverage and how much loss we can accept. Put an attenuator in the line and see how far down I can turn it before things happen. Anyway, good hearing you in there, and take care. Enjoy the good days. I think we got a rainy day coming up tomorrow, but it's going to dry up later this week. Maybe not as warm as today, but we'll get more days like this. Good hearing you, Mike. And let's see here. Since I'm doing this one at a time, this is W8VPV looking for any more check-ins for the Cuyahoga Falls Amateur Radio Club Monday night HF plus 6 band exploration night. Come on now.
November 8th, America, Charlie Papa. November 8 Alpha, Charlie Papa. Chris, Cadillac Hill, Akron.
Okay, Chris, I got you in there, and Steve, I got you in there first. Go ahead, Steve.
W8VPV in the net, yeah, nothing much else. Just wanted to get you another number here for this net. So thanks for running both of them. And glad this thing still works on 80. So yeah, everybody's a little bit weak, but I do have a copy on you. So back to you, W8VPV, KHMS.
Very good, Steve. You got a good signal up here on the eastern edge of the valley. You're hitting me with a solid F9, sometimes 5 over F9, so have no problem hearing you at all, but good hearing you in there. Chris, go ahead. N8ACP.
Thank you, Frank. High noise here tonight, and I'm guessing you're vertically polarized. I'm having a hard time hearing you, but I can hear John and Mike real well. And the last station as well. So, and Mike, SCOM makes a great repeater controller. It's really too bad they're not making them anymore for a new purchase, but I think you'll be happy when you stretch that thing out. And again, just nothing else from the 2-meter net, just a reminder again, the CT Worldwide WPX single sideband contest is this coming weekend. So 160, of course, here on 80, 40, 20, 15, and 10. Should be a good time to pick up some new DX contacts. So thanks for running that, Frank. That's all I've got. 58 Mr. Papa Victor, November 8 Alpha Charlie Papa 73.
Very good, Chris. A little bit weak in my area, but I got all of that, so I appreciate the info. And yeah, folks, if you're not busy contesting and making contacts now, this is the time to do it. The bands are great way up there because of the solar activity. For the most part, 6 years from now, it's going to be a whole different story, anything above 15 meters. All right, thanks, Chris. Appreciate it. We'll see if anybody else is out there. I'm sure it'll be a light night tonight. I know Larry doesn't have the antennas for it. So this is W8VPV, the Cuyahoga Falls Amateur Radio Club, Monday night, HF plus 6 band exploration net, 3832 kilohertz. Do we have any more check-ins?
Whiskey Alpha 8 Radio, Charlie, November.
Wow, pound the head. 30 over S9. Jim, how you doing?
Very good, Frank. How are you? And good evening, everybody listening. And I should have said something earlier on the other net. This is the time of year when the thunderstorms are in here. So they're saying we're supposed to get some tonight after 9 and then again tomorrow. Disconnect those antennas, man. I'll tell you. You're talking to a guy that's had some bad experience there. I got hit 3 times, and rotor cables, that's the big thing everybody forgets. I got quick disconnects on the rotor cables, too, because last time I got hit at the other house, the antennas were disconnected, came in a daggone rotor cable, took out a Drake C line, a Drake B line, a Kenwood D line, a Collins KWM2 was on fire, an SB102, all my keys, all my preamps, everything. I mean, it was quite the fiasco. So anyway, going to disconnect everything when we're done here. All right, back to you. W8VPV, W8RCN.
Wow, that sounds like every ham's total nightmare. I'm very sorry to hear that. When you make a joke about lightning as nature's way of telling you to get new equipment, but man, to lose everything like that, geez. Well, I'm glad you're back on the air, and of course, good hearing you. For anybody else, he's about a mile away from me, and I literally have never, that's the loudest I've ever seen a signal on this radio, 30 over S9. So, good job, Jim. I've driven past 2 or 3 times now and seen that tower waiting for those antennas to sprout any old day now. All right, thanks, Jim. Appreciate it. Have a good one. And let's see, his wisdom is absolutely correct. Disconnect those antennas. It may not help in a direct strike, but it sure will help in a nearby strike. All right, this is W8VPV, the Cuyahoga Falls Amateur Radio Club, Monday night, HF plus 6X band exploration net on 80 meters tonight. Do we have any last check-ins? All right, hearing nothing, we'll run through the announcements real quick. We'll call for check-ins once more and then wrap this net up. let's see here. The CME, the Aurora Borealis, originally thought to be active tonight, does not look like it is. I'll go out and check. Maybe you should too, but doesn't look like the CMAE, which is actually pretty formidable, is going to do too much to us Aurora-wise. We got a meeting this coming Wednesday, 7:30 at Pilgrim United Church of Christ. It'll be Zoomed if you don't have if you can't make it out in person. I do not have a topic at this point. We'll have to figure this one out. We've got a couple in the can, so we'll do something here. Following meeting is Wednesday, April 10th. That's going to be an important one. If you're involved in the Hamfest coming up on the 13th, we want you there. We'll be going over final details. We'll also be voting on bylaw and constitution changes. We need a quorum there. And finally, we're going to probably amend the antenna recommendation that we came up with earlier. We may want to be getting a different antenna rather than the one that we're talking about originally voted on. So please try to attend that meeting. We do have a meeting scheduled for April 24th, but I have no idea at this point what it's going to be. We'll I'm sure, have more information on that coming up. So we will have a post-Hamfest summary. All right, that's everything I've got. Do we have any last check-ins? Otherwise, we'll bring this net to a close. Get out of here. This is W8VPV. Go ahead, Mike. Okay, Mike. The antenna is we originally were looking at getting a DB224E. Somebody suggested going back and reevaluating things, and this was based on an evaluation we did about 6-7 years ago, significantly before COVID. So I went back and found 5 others that look like they would work. Several are going to incur truck shipping charges if we get them. One of them that won't looks like it'll get us about 7 dBd gain and can be broken down into 4-foot sections. It's a type of collinear where you have phasing coils that absorb the out-of-phase quarter waves. So you've got stacked quarter wave and elements. This one will be 3. It's a Cushcraft G7 144.7 or something like that. I'd have to go look it up. I don't have it handy now. That's the antenna. As far as the remote sighted, it actually we're looking at putting the receive site on Barberton Hospital. I will have to link it to us via a 440 link, and therein lies the problem between us is that rise by Summit Lake, and it looks like we're going to get tangled up in there. The models show that that is the direct line of sight, but that diffraction should give us 24 dB or so signal leeway before we start to fade. So the real test will be, actually testing it out and seeing what happens with some beams up there, and we're going to do that late this spring or early summer. I think I got your email address somewhere. I can shoot you the simulation and let you see it. All right, thanks, Mike. This is W8VPV, the Cuyahoga Falls Amateur Radio Club, looking for any final check-ins.
W03S3 check.
Go ahead, John.
Oh, yeah, the G7 is in stock at DX Engineering.
Very good. So it'll be a fast thing once we do that. Yeah, once we get it, we'll, if that's the one we decide to get, we'll do some testing, make sure everybody's happy with it. I'm even thinking of things like putting a dowel rod up the lower aluminum tubing to give it some additional rigidity.
And the instructions are very detailed. So they have length adjustments, like quarter-inch increments depending on the frequency that we want to do. So it's very highly detailed. So it shouldn't be any problem at all adjusting it for our use. This is W03X, back to the net.
Very good. My concern is, and if you can learn more about it, the phasing coils are wrapped with copper and I believe joined an aluminum fitting that is threaded that screws into the next level down. We need to, multiple people have reported that after 2 or 3 years those will corrode up and they need to be worked on. So we need to look at those, understand what they look like, and figure out what to do to secure them and keep them from corroding. But other than that, it sounds like a good one. All right, let's see here. That's it. If there are no other check-ins, I'll go ahead and wrap this up. One more call for check-ins. All right, this has been the Cuyahoga Falls Amateur Radio Club Monday night band exploration, 6-meter plus band HF band exploration net. We are tonight on 80 meters at 3832. Thank you for participating. In preparing to close this net, I'd like to thank each and every one of you who took the time to join us and check in tonight. Without your participation, there would be no net. This has been Frank, and my call is W8VPV, and it's been my pleasure to host this evening's net. At this time, we'll close the net with 6 check-ins, myself included, and return this frequency to normal and customary amateur radio use. This is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor, closing the net at 9:55 p.m. Thanks all, 73.
W8VPV. Repeater. W8VPV. Repeater. W8VPV. Repeater. W8VPV. Repeater. W8VPV. Repeater. The time is 12:01 a.m. Tuesday, March 26, 2024. W8VPV. Repeater.